This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
The award-winning Lee Pitts Live is brought to you by Hodges University. Build the future you at Hodges University.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live. And of course, I'm your host, Lee Pitts. I'm so thrilled to come to you from the American Legion, Post 192. We're located in the heart of the Dunbar community, a proud historic community, and this is certainly an historic building located on Martin Luther King Boulevard. When I first came to Southwest Florida back in the late 80s, it was at the American Legion, Post 192, where I got to know the community. Many things have happened since then. Of course, we've morphed into this historic television show, but I'm so thrilled to be able to come back here to the American Legion to bring Lee Pitts Live to the heart of the community. We have a fabulous show in store for you. You're going to get to meet some entrepreneurs that are going to change your life, going to inspire you as well to go out and create your own path. We'll get a chance in the first part of the show to talk to Cornell Bunting. He's the author of A Lion with No Roar. We'll talk to that fabulous entrepreneur who has outdressed the host of the show. We'll also get a chance to talk to Ty Belfort. He's the founding partner of Four Corners, I'm still country folk, I'm from Alabama, Four Corners Creative. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. It's happening right now, and we'll be right back. Southwest Florida, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live on this Sunday morning. I'm so thrilled to bring to you an outstanding author in our midst. Let's get to meet him. Last name Bunting, first name Cornell, if you act right. Well-traveled author of the book, A Lion with No Roar. We'll get to take a look at the cover of this book right here. And we'll also get to look inside this book later on. But before we get started, let's talk about how well-dressed this guy is. This guy is coming here out-dressing the host of the show, man. What you got on there? You got on a little Pierre Cardin there?
I think it's Yves Saint Laurent.
Yves Saint Laurent? Hey, people hear that accent. Tell them where you're from.
Born in Jamaica, grew up in England.
Grew up in England?
Yeah.
Hey, so what about Usain Bolt, man? You guys were going crazy.
Love that dude, man. He did awesome, man. He just ended with a triple, so it was beautiful.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Is he pretty much the Michael Jordan of Jamaica?
Oh, man, he's bigger than the Michael Jordan of Jamaica. He's bigger than the Prime Minister, man.
Really?
He's the most talked about right now for social media, whatever it is.
Okay.
You know, so it's a beautiful thing. They've never had that happen before, so, you know, him coming out and really putting Jamaica on the map the way he did is beautiful.
Well, you've gotten a chance to pen a fabulous book. But before we get to the book,
yes,
A Lion with No Roar, I think you got something to present to me. Let's go ahead and get that presentation.
Yes, wanted to get you this shirt. It's a Lion with No Roar shirt. See if I can get it.
There you go. Let's give our cameraman a shot opportunity there. Just hold it up.
Yes.
Now, where can people get these shirts?
They hopefully will have them up on the Talawa,
John, I'll give you another shot at it.
Talawa.com website. We'll have it up, and if anyone needs it, they can inbox me as well on Facebook. Just say they need a shirt, the size, and I'll get one out to them.
Right. You've been doing a lot of marketing for your television show. We'll see some video footage as well.
Yes.
Not television show, but for your book. And I
Yes.
think you've just done a great job.
Thank you.
And when I first heard about your book, A Lion with No Roar, I had no idea what it was going to be like when I picked it up. But when I picked the book up, it was just outstanding. Tell us about how you first came up with this concept.
For me, it was, I wanted to go with me in the far back. So I'm Leo, that's my sign, and so I'm a big fan of lion images, you know.
Gotcha.
And so I wanted to do something in that aspect as far as the kids go, but then do something to it that would get individuals' attention, like a lion that has no roar. What does that even look like? That makes no sense, you know. So this was the reason I wanted to come out with this title first, because this is the first of 8 books I wrote already.
Now, when people pick up this book and read it, now I read it to my son, and he's just like, I have to keep reading it like over and over because he likes it so much.
That's lovely.
And the first thing, you know, he was saying, is that the Lion King? Do you ever hear that before?
Yes,
but
yes.
It's totally different from the Lion
is,
King. But
yes.
you bring out, in your book, you make some good points for kids.
Yes.
Talk
yes.
about that.
Yes, so I wanted kids to understand, you know, even if they're in school and they're getting bullied, they don't necessarily got to fight back. They can show love, because then that'll throw off a bully and be like, I'm not understanding, I'm being mean to you. You know, because at the end of this, and I don't want to give the book away, you know, it's really talking about love and how kids can understand how important it is for them to believe in themselves and not continue to rely on individuals' input, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, they can become leaders.
Yes, yes.
Great way to teach leadership skills, great way to teach cooperation, great way to encourage reading along the way.
Yes.
Was that your goal?
Yes. And I wanted to reach some corporations that, you know, oversee a little bit of even this community, the Dunbar community, because I've done a lot of outreach events down here, and I've really seen that, you know, they're still trying to figure it out. They're struggling. So I wanted to reach organization that would just show some love, purchase like 200 copies and say, hey, Cornell, we got some books. Would you go in the community, sign it for the kids, have a word of advice for them? So that is one of the goals, you know.
And we see you interacting with the kids. Who is Cornell Bunting?
Well, I would say Cornell is an individual that does not let anyone negative talks get him down. He continues to drive. He continues to go at whatever goal he sets. And so for me, nothing is impossible as long as I know God is with me and he has my back, you know.
When you had the different choices of the type of genre you wanted to go into in terms of writing a book, why did you choose kids?
I felt like, because there's so many kids out there, and I felt like you want to get to the root of certain things before it get to a certain point, because, you know, it's how the crime is now, and, you know, all that stuff, the ignorance of people and not understanding certain things, that way communication is bad. You know, like helping kids at a young age to like listen, understand how you can do this different, you know, like change it up. So I wanted to address the kids first and then let individuals see my work and say, okay, I like that author, so maybe I'll buy his next book, because I got a lot more coming out, you know.
Great. Now, that phone number and website that we see appearing on the screen throughout the interview,
Yes.
people can get in touch with you for speaking engagement,
Yes.
book signing,
Yes.
Book readings, and all types
Yes.
of different
Yes.
outreaches. Now, with you having an international flavor, having lived in various countries and being
Yes.
arrived here in America,
Yes.
what was that like for you?
I tell you, it's very interesting, because I never got profile as much as I'm here now.
Really?
Like, you know, I got more profile here because a lot of people look at the outer, that cover, without looking inside the book, you know. And so I've experienced that a lot here. But, you know, in Europe it's so different. Everyone is just, they loving you, and, you know, they want to know who you is, and, you know, whatever
Yeah, but
that
it's still
communication look
racism in
like.
Europe.
It is. It is
European
racism.
Cats always try like there's no racism in Europe.
No, there is
I don't wanna
racism.
jack you on
Yes,
that, but
yes.
I've been over there too, as you well know.
Yes.
But it's certainly different from here.
It is different. It is different, and it's everywhere.
And one of the things that I know, I don't want to get too far off subject. I want to make sure I get your max time in on the subject. But I know there's a lot of interracial dating when I
Yes.
was over there, and it's so common.
Yes, they love the color.
I mean, I
They
rarely
just-
saw two of the same races together. That was like kind of strange when I saw two black people together.
Yeah, yeah. You
That's
go
pretty-
there, you like a dime piece. You know, I want a piece of him.
You're the man. You're the man. Now, you say you have some more books coming out. Any of them
Yes.
particularly children's books?
Yes, I actually wrote 8 books that is for the kids, and I have 3 that is adult. So I signed with an agent in Fort Lauderdale, and we're writing a curriculum for the schools right now. I wrote a skit for a pantomime that we're going to hopefully be starting in Hollywood in Fort Lauderdale, then coming here to the Broadway Palms, and then to the Sidney Byrne Davis Art Center.
Now, to me, you seem different from other artists. I've interviewed a lot of authors over the years, other authors. You seem to have like this vision,
Yes.
right? Constantly in that creative process.
Yes,
So
yes.
is this something that when you're lying down in the bed, you just start, your mind just goes and you start creating, and then you act on it? Movies,
Yes.
video clips, acting, all
Yes.
this I see.
Yes, so when I was in high school, I did acting, and
I
so
see.
because I was so good at it, I even had my teacher had me script some of the plays, so I got pretty good at it, and then I, for some reason, just didn't continue with it after I left school. So, you know, after I had a little delayed in my journey as a parent, you know, I decided, you know, I got to pick it back up. You know, I had people reaching out to me like, why have you stopped doing that? You know, so the big picture is, you know, Talawa, and then what Talawa has with the different entities, you know, it's all about stories. Everyone has a story. For me is, what can we put that story in? How can we bring that story to life? And so I have 3 entities where you have the books, it could be a trailer, a movie, whatever that look like, or it could be a video game or app.
Right. I can see that every time I keep seeing materials about you and what you're doing.
Yes.
Now, with that international flavor that you have, and how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as an American, as a Jamaican, a citizen of the world?
Well, I'm only a citizen in America now.
Right.
I was in Jamaica the last time, and they stamped in my book, you can only be here for 2 weeks. My feelings was hurt, but it was all right, you know. And just, it's whatever country I go to, it's the same thing. But I really love America because of all the opportunities here.
Why don't you take time out and read this page out of your book?
The land of Zamunda was a faraway land. It was so far that the only creatures living there were animals, and the land was run with their leader, King Geoffrey, the most magnificent lion anyone has ever seen. King Geoffrey had a thick mane with strands that looked as though they were made of gold rope, and if you ever got close enough, you could bury your arms in it, up to your elbow. Each of his paws was size of a basketball, and his claws were as sharp as knives. Even though he was scary to look at all the animals of Zamunda loved King Geoffrey. He was a strong but kind lion. King Geoffrey also had an amazing partner, his lioness, Queen Safara. The 2 of them had led their pack on the land of the Mundo for many years and had been quite happy in doing so, except that they were missing one thing, a cub. Although they had wanted a cub for many years, it never happened, and as time went by, they began to believe that maybe it never would.
Right. Now, the reason I had you read that particular page, folks, we're talking to Cornell,
Yes.
Bunting, of the author of A Lion with No Roar. The reason I had you read that part, because that part does a lot.
Yes.
It talks about, you know, not having had a child.
Right.
Then you're able to slide in some continuing education about Africa.
Yes.
Working in continents,
Yes.
working in the country's names,
Yes.
that whole piece, and then showing that relationship.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
I've said most of it. I was going to say expound on that. But final question. Talk about how you weaved and bobbed in your book to have other lessons buried within lessons.
You know, for me, I think it was how important it was. My son, he got bullied without even realizing he was being bullied. And so he traded his LeBron James for some Vans because he thought the Vans were cool. But, you know, I wanted to get the message out. So what I did, I wrote a lot of query letters to, I probably say over 100 publishers, to a synopsis of the book and what that looks like, and a little bio about me, and then my interests, what I want to accomplish from this, where I want to get it. And I feel like it's a mess. There's so many people in the world. And so not just in America, I wanted to get, you know, global, if that's possible. So, you know, I've just kind of pushed it. I did some trailers for the book. I did a few speaking engagements, you know, encouraging the kids not to give up, you know, even if you feel like you're a loser. You're not a loser, you're a winner, you know. You look in the mirror, it's a beautiful day, you're alive. You get to go do this again today, you know. So it's lovely.
Outstanding job. Again, the book is A Lion with No Roar, Finding His Calling. Be sure to get out and get it. It's going to be a bestseller. And as we leave this show, I'm going to hand you my pen and have you autograph that.
Yes.
Just zoom in on that autograph. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Cornell, the author of A Lion with No Roar. We'll be right back.